Are you one of those lost in the pursuit of ambition and success? Despite all your efforts, why can't you achieve success? Have you ever thought about what you actually lose while chasing ambition? This video is not a motivational speech. It's an invitation to a journey that will uncover the deep secrets. Are you ready to discover how your ambition has enslaved you? Do you not understand why God does what He does? Get ready to unravel the mystery behind ambition, the greatest trap of the modern age. This journey will confront you with a self you don't know. The path you've taken towards success has led to a dead end. You started the day as a hero, but by the end, you turned into an anti-hero again. Is it possible to control our ambition? In this video, we will discuss the mystery behind ambition, the greatest trap of the modern age. Yes, there is a secret behind it. We have a part that exhausts us the most: greed. This means an insatiable self. This video will help you discover your inner greed and how it has enslaved you. There is a traitor within us, and that is the ego, the sense of self. Outside, there are those who tell you that this world is a permanent place and impose a worldly life on you. You are surrounded. Doesn't it sound like a story when I put it this way? Because of the insatiable ego and greed, we have become slaves, lost. What do you think the ambition to accumulate worldly possessions makes a person forget? It makes them forget why they were created, their purpose of creation. You were here for a 70 to 80-year lifespan, yet you desire eternity. This itself shows that you do not belong to this world. You have a purpose for your creation. To find and know your Lord and to worship Him is required. But this is the last thing you want to hear, isn't it? Because the enemy within you tells you this. Will you be that, or will you discover that you are someone different? You know, there is another person inside you, but you ignore it because they scare you with schizophrenia or madness. There are two of you inside, one you and the other you. Everyone has this. Both are you, yet you act as if you are a single person. No one talks about the needs of the soul. Can the soul be happy with any success in this world? It doesn't belong to this world. It has no issues with eating, drinking, or shelter. The world seems quite small to it. We have delved into the world so deeply with ambition that we have forgotten our purpose of creation in our soul. Now, we think the wound is on the surface in such matters. It is not so. The wound is deep. It bleeds from the inside. What is inside? There is the heart. Once you start to obtain the world, your wound will bleed more, and perhaps all your spiritual side will be lost. This might be why God does not give the world to you. Is He doing good or bad? No, He is doing good. Why? The world is not given to the one who dives into it with ambition. God has mercy on him and provides him with opportunities. Look, you were not created for this. If I give it to you, you will dive in. Don't do this, He says. When you take your child to the sea, do you let him go in the middle of it? No. You hold his hand and take him only as far as his height allows. Why? So he doesn't drown. Why does God give only so much and not more? So we don't drown. Because with what do we dive in? With ambition. The reason you can't hold on to the world you dive into with ambition today is God's mercy. Otherwise, you might have drowned. You were already crawling, and you would have completely forgotten it. Now we will delve into a very subtle topic, trust in God to wackle. Let's say I opened a 10-story shop. I decorated each floor meticulously, chose the most attractive colors, organized major advertising campaigns, and did everything I could to attract everyone's attention. I ran around to ensure the shop's business would open and be prosperous. So, did I act out of ambition or trust in God? It's unclear. So, how will we understand this? Ambition and trust in God, tawakkul, cannot be separated during the act of working. Where do they differ? They differ in the results. So, should a person not open a beautiful shop and work hard? Of course, they should, but the intention is important. Let's say you have a garden and you want to plant something. If you start with ambition, what will you do? You will clear the stones, plant the seeds, and get the best fertilizer. If you work with tawakkul, what will you do? You will do the same things. You will clear the stones, plant the seeds, and get the best fertilizer. So, how will we differentiate? Let's explain with an example. If you have a garden of 10 acres, what will you do with ambition? You will clear the stones, plant the seeds, and get the best fertilizer. If you work with tawakkul, what will you do? You will do the same things. You will clear the stones, plant the seeds, get the best fertilizer, and provide the best garden care. We see that the actions of ambition and tawakkul are completely the same in practice. There is not the slightest difference, but the words ambition and tawakkul are completely opposite. Why? The one who dives in with ambition does not accept what God has given. They do not know the result from God and are not pleased with what He has given. In other words, they do not recognize God. The one who works with tawakkul says, "O Lord, I have done my best, but the result is in your hands." Look, this is a very important difference. Is it a sin for a person to be successful in the world? Is it a sin or forbidden to be rich? No. So, can a person lose their afterlife while their worldly possessions increase? Yes, they can. If a person works well and knows the result is from God, all doors of success are open to them. But if the same person does not know the result from God and shows ambition by saying, "How can this be the result?" they can lose their afterlife. The point of action is completely the same. Where does the difference lie? It lies in the result. To cling to means is not tawakkul. Not getting stuck on the means is tawakkul. God gave health and time. He provided opportunities, and I worked hard. I did business. Are my actions ambition or effort? Where will I understand this? I will understand it in the result. If over the years I have sacrificed my religion for the world, this is called ambition. But if I have clung more seriously to my religion with what God has given, this is called tawakkul. Isn't it a subtle meaning? You cannot call a person's diligence ambition. You cannot call a person's diligence tawakkul either. Where will you place it? You will evaluate it based on the result. There is hidden polytheism within ambition because not recognizing the result as from God means not knowing who gives what. This is a serious accusation. I worked and you worked too. Your shop thrived while my shop is struggling to pay the bills. Saying I worked too, why am I not given, is very dangerous. Thinking that God does not know how to give the result means denying His power and wisdom. This thought contains hidden polytheism. That is why God does not give the world to believers who burden themselves with it with ambition and sincere intentions. If He did, the purpose of creation would be forgotten. What happens if you keep throwing wood into the fire? Everything burns. What happens if you keep giving to a person who dives into the world with ambition? They too will burn fiercely like that fire. Ambition makes a person lose their afterlife. So, if God wants us to abandon ambition, why did He give us this ambition? Because there is a place where we will use this ambition to rise in the ranks of the afterlife. We should be ambitious for the afterlife. Whatever you experience related to the afterlife, you should always say, "Is there not more? Is there not more?" Do you understand? It means that in the aspect of the afterlife, a person should constantly say, "Oh Lord, is there not more? Is there not more?" You will die in the shops you think are indispensable if you don't end this. You will take your last breath in the workshops where you think you would be embarrassed. Your youth will go. The pleasures you took will go. Your excitement will go. You will go one by one, like the stones of a building. They fall every day, whether you want it or not. For God's sake, when that day comes, what will save you, us? I have fallen upon your fortune, O Lord.